What is good, everybody? It's your boy Champagne Chico, and we're back with another rebuild. I'm thinking about making just a day of the week for rebuilds at this point. But we're here. We're here for a Tampa Bay Buccaneers rebuild without Tom Brady. It seems like he's on his way out. Doesn't seem like it really worked out this year with them firing Byron Leftwich. Don't know why Todd Boyles is still there, but that's just my opinion. He was a great defensive coordinator, but I don't know. But there's a lot of things to do with this team. They have a lot of aging players and a lot of decisions to make. And Tom Brady is one of them that they might just have to move on from. They would have to probably look into draft for a QB. But at the spot that they're at right now, it's either they go with the best possible pick at that spot, or they go with the QB that's probably only going to be a one-year rental and probably sit on the bench for the rest of the time because they'll be at the top of the draft the next year to possibly get a better QB. But if you enjoy rebuilds and if you are a fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, go down there and hit that subscribe button for me. I would greatly appreciate it. And while you're there, hit that thumbs up button for me. It helps me get these videos out to more people, and I get to make more rebuild videos like this. So we have to bring in a brand new coach by the name of Champagne Chico. He's done his job on a couple teams this year, so we'll have to see if he's able to do it. All right, so Champagne Chico is officially in the building. We are going to have to sim past this Cowboys game because don't want y'all to see that massacre again. All right, and with the loss to the Dallas Cowboys, you are now officially around that 15 to 16 range in the draft. And you can pick Anthony Richardson with that pick with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it's a matter of if you're willing to do that. He doesn't have great accuracy in this draft class. You look at somebody like Brian Branch that can also be a great addition to the team. Cornerback like Keely Ringo. It's just all up in the air. Can't really go halfback. You already have Rashad White that you drafted last year. And Leonard Fournette, who is still aging, but he's still on the team, so it's difficult to just move on from it, you know. So it's a big decision going into the draft. You could just possibly risk it with Anthony Richardson. Hopefully he develops over that year, and if he doesn't, then I guess you have a top pick in the next draft to possibly get another QB. And at the end of 2022, they have the Ravens beating the Eagles and Roquan Smith getting Super Bowl MVP. A lot of the same on the yearly awards. I'm not going to get into that since none of our players got that. But we're going to move forward to the period of re-signing our players. Some big decisions to make. Possibly just bringing back Lavonte David as maybe trade bait since he still is a superstar in the game. And he's aging. He's a middle linebacker that's aging, and he could possibly retire soon if they don't figure out what they're going to do soon enough. And with the money that he wants, it's going to be a good deal. I mean, star, maybe like $6 million a year, but he has an $8 million signing bonus that he wants. 33 years old. Jamal Dean, possibly one of the only cornerbacks that I'm looking to bring back. Mike Edwards, I could possibly just look for a better strong safety at that position. Sean Murphy-Bunting doesn't really want to come back. We would have to overpay him in order for him to come back, and I don't think it's worth it with him being a 77 overall in the game. Yeah, it's really just Lavonte David and Jamal Dean that would be the big ones in this situation, just because, I mean, Lavonte David ain't asking for too much. His interest level's high. I'll go ahead and give him this. I enjoyed playing for you, but I think I'm going to test out free agency. Well, that's great. I mean, you had all that interest in us. 17.5, I'm not doing that. Jamal Dean also has interest in us. We could possibly give him a better deal just because he's younger and could develop more over the years. So we'll see if he takes this. That's a good offer. I'm glad we got the deal done. Okay, so we get the big ones done. A lot of aging players. Logan Ryan at free safety, not looking to bring him back at the age of 32. Julio Jones, love him, but he's also aging and just chasing a ring. We're not going to be able to fulfill that for him just yet. Akeem Hicks, also the same. Mike Edwards, I can give these guys contracts if they'll take it, but I'm not overpaying them. Mike Edwards is going to test out free agency. I'm not overpaying these guys. If they don't want to come back, then they don't want to come back, but I'm giving my fair shot at them. I would like to play for a new team next year. That is one way of putting it, Sean Murphy Bunting. All right, so we get Keanu Neal back, a bit younger in age than Logan Ryan. He's also the strong safety of the team, so I would try to have one of the safeties come back, and that's what I just did, so hopefully that works out. I don't see anybody else that I'm looking for in terms of re-signing right now since Lavonte David doesn't want to come back. It's not really something I can handle. I'm not overpaying him. I know the Bucs fans love Lavonte David. He's been around since a minute. We're going to look into the mock draft and see who they have us taking at the position that we're at. They have CJ Stroud dropping to 13. That's a bit unrealistic. At 19, they have us taking Trenton Simpson. He doesn't look bad. He doesn't look bad at all, actually. A man coverage, A play recognition, A pursuit. That would be a pretty good addition for the Bucs. Trenton Simpson out of Clemson. It just depends on if he drops to us, and hopefully he does. But I think he would be a great addition to the team. Also, other options is cornerback. Pretty deep in that department in terms of first round cornerbacks. I don't really want to get Keeley. He seems good, but his man coverage is a C. His physicals are not great as of right now. B press, B zone. A catching is great, but you got to be able to cover the guy in order to catch that ball. After the combine, it doesn't seem like Trenton Simpson, he dropped, but he has pretty good stats. He has elite jumping, elite speed, elite acceleration, elite change of direction. I would not imagine that he's that bad of a pick. I mean, he can keep dropping. I would rather overshoot for him, but I'm pretty confident on Trenton Simpson being our left outside linebacker of the future. A tackle, A pursuit, A play recognition, A man coverage. I mean, you don't get much better than that at a left outside linebacker. Pass coverage. And with the salary cap space that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have in this free agency class, I ended up trying to go after Lavonte David again. I'm still confident on trying to maybe trade him at the trade deadline next year, just because he's a middle linebacker. Those are hard to come by without them having a massive contract. CJ Gardner-Johnson, that's another strong safety that I'm very much pursuing. We're in a tight race with the Jaguars, so supposedly we're at the top. But we'll have to see in this next day of free agency. I did not have the cap to sign Roquan Smith after trying to get CJ Gardner-Johnson. So I tried, but it's not going to work out in this free agency. So after the first day of free agency, we did end up getting CJ Gardner-Johnson. I think that's a great pickup for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A great strong safety, and I think he'll bring a lot to the defense as we kind of look towards the defense in terms of the drafts and maybe some offensive linemen. But with the extra cap space that I have now that Lavonte David went to the Cincinnati Bengals, you got to look for maybe some backup linemen or some prospects that are willing to come on a shorter contract. After day 2, I'm just going after another middle linebacker to fill in Lavonte David's spot for the time being. Bobby Okereke, younger, that's for sure. I would hope that he progresses a little bit. He is at the age of 27, so can't really expect too much. But I think that's going to be one of the last signings if we do end up signing him. And if not, we just go straight into the NFL draft. So we did end up getting Bobby Okereke, so that's going to conclude the 2023 free agency class for us. CJ Gardner-Johnson and Bobby Okereke, I think those are both great additions. As far as I know, CJ Gardner-Johnson has not extended anything with the Eagles, so I'm excited for him to be going to the Bucs, and we can just go straight into the draft and hopefully find some great players to add to this team. And now we are in the NFL draft. I do not think that we are concerned with what happens before us, except for the fact that hopefully Trenton Simpson makes it down to the 19th pick. Keely Ringo gets picked right before us. Hoping to see a left outside linebacker right now. And at the 19th pick of the first round, we're going to go ahead and get a left outside linebacker by the name of Trenton Simpson. A pursuit, A tackle. Hopefully he's good. He is hidden development, 88 speed, 85 jumping, 91 acceleration. I think he's going to be great with that hidden development. Also, those stats don't look like they're lying right now. So I'm excited for him to join the defense. Left outside linebacker was a big position of need, so I'm looking forward to that. But now we have to worry about the quarterback position. And in the second round, we're going to go after a cornerback by the name of Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State. A man-to-man archetype. Some good skills on him. He has B press, B catching. Everything else that I'm kind of interested in is not for sure yet, but it's A to C, so we'll have to see. And he seems like he has pretty decent NFL combine stats, so I'm hopefully looking for him to be hidden development right now. He is normal development, but he has 92 speed, 91 acceleration, 89 agility, 88 change of direction. I mean, was really just looking for a CB3. Hopefully he can develop at that position. I will be possibly looking at right end and left end in the next round. It's just the prospects at the position that I was at was not worth drafting with the stats that they had. And in round number 3, I think we're going to go after Jaren Hall, a great QB prospect out of BYU. B deep accuracy, B medium accuracy, A short accuracy. He seems pretty good. He has elite jumping. He did really good at his college pro day and NFL combine, and we need a quarterback. I'm willing to reach for Jaren Hall right now. He's supposed to be going in day 3. But with his stats, it looks like it's going to be a good pick at this position. We'll go ahead and see. He is normal development, so wasn't expecting him to be hidden development in round 3. But 87 throw power, 85 speed, 87 acceleration, 83 agility. Can't really get much better than that at a scrambler in round 3. So hopefully he pans out. If not, then we know that we have to look for a QB in the next draft. In round 5, which is a pretty deep spot right now, I am looking at this cornerback, Blue Kelly right here. He looks pretty good. His physicals aren't great. Neither are skills, but he's one of the top ones at this position right now. But I was also looking at this left end that I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. His physicals look pretty good at this position, and so do his skills. He has B power moves, B play recognition. I mean, it's a position that we need. It's a position that we could possibly be willing to risk right now. He could even go to right end, but out of Northwestern, I think I'm going to take this left end power rusher that I'm not going to try to say his name. Normal development, decent stats. I mean, we are in round 5, so I wasn't expecting something crazy. I hope he pans out, but I think that was the best pick that we could have done in round 5. I actually forgot one more person, and it's Jake Moody, just because Ryan Suckup is aging and he's also regressing. And I'm not going to be willing to pay him next year when his contract is up. So we're going to go ahead and draft Jake Moody out of Michigan. One of the best kickers that I've seen in college football. So I'm hoping that he translates that to the NFL, but I think it's going to be a good pick since we won't have to pay him for a good amount of years. And at the start of our first season of the rebuild, this is how our team is looking right now. We have Hall at QB, Leonard Fournette, and Rachaad White. Might be looking to move Leonard Fournette if it comes down to it later in the season for a pick or two. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans are 2-star receivers. Our line, left side, is not looking good, but our right side looks great. Cameron Bray at tight end, another position that we could possibly need. Shaquille Barrett might also be on the outs, so that would possibly be a package trade with Leonard Fournette because I would like Trenton Simpson to get his snaps. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, a strong safety, a great addition to the team. Antoine Winfield, Jamal Dean still on the team, Vita Vea, Carlton Davis. I think it should be a good season. We have our picks, so I'm not too worried about that aspect of it. But I'm hoping that we are at least competitive, and if not, then we get a top pick in the drafts, and we'll see how our stats look at the midseason mark. And at the midseason mark, we are 3-4. Not a bad start. Not a bad start at all. We can take a look at the roster to see if anybody got any upgrades or any skill development. Hall is still a normal development quarterback. He got, I think, one attribute upgrade higher. Chris Godwin got better. Seems like Trenton Simpson is only a star right now. Don't mind that since he's a backup at the moment. Nothing new with the team. at this time, but kind of was hoping that Hall would be a little better. But we are 3-4, so seems like he is doing something right. We can go ahead and look at the stats of the season. 10th in offensive yards and 19th in defensive yards. Okay. Not the best, but not that bad. Hall has 2,020 yards, 14 TDs, and 4 interceptions. Not bad at all for a rookie quarterback. That's a great TD to interception ratio to be a rookie. Rushing, Leonard Fournette, 430 yards, 3 touchdowns. Not bad. Jaren Hall also has a touchdown and 111 yards, so he must be really the dual threat that we were kind of looking for. Rachaad White has a touchdown himself with 69 yards. Not bad. He is the backup. Mike Evans has 594 yards on the season and 2 touchdowns, but Chris Godwin has 517 and 7 TDs. So, seems like we know who they go after whenever it comes to TDs. Bobby Okereke showing up. 4 TFLs, 1 interception. 0.5 sacks, not bad at all. Joe Tryon with 5 sacks on the season so far. And Trenton Simpson with 5 sacks. Wow. The young players are showing out right now. Devin White is a bit questionable. In terms of his defensive stats. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see who is really tradable right now and who I'm looking to get a pick from. The number 1 prospect is a QB by the name of Javon Long. 65% completed. They have us looking to get him. I think he looks pretty solid. His physicals are not great. B deep accuracy, B medium accuracy, A awareness. He definitely is a field general. He doesn't seem like he gets out the pocket much. That's a concern, but we can kind of work with it. There's a wide receiver in this draft. Doesn't look great. He's a playmaker, but he has D catching traffic. We have some contracts that we might be willing to move, since somebody by the name of Mike Evans is looking to re-sign and doesn't seem that interested to come back. So we would definitely have to see about that. I might try to just re-sign him now and see if he accepts, and if he doesn't, then I might have to pack up Mike Evans. It's been a great run for him on the Bucs, but he is aging and he could regress very soon. Antoine Winfield is somebody that I want to bring back for sure, though. A lot of interest to re-sign, but Mike Evans seems like he wants to go for another championship, and it doesn't seem like we're going to get that for him before he retires. So I'm going to give my shot at re-signing him, and if he doesn't want to come back, then might have to get traded. Okay, we're able to get Mike Evans on a deal. Not a bad one. Might definitely have to trade some other deals away in terms of other aging players, but I would like to have some cap space, and after I sign some of the big players back, I might not have that right now, so I just might have to get rid of Leonard Fournette and Shaquille Barrett. We also get Antoine Winfield back. I usually wait till the offseason to re-sign these players, but I feel like I just wasn't that confident to just wait all that time and then possibly not even get them back and lose them for basically nothing. Get Shaq Mason back. Not on a crazy deal, so I could find a better team in free agency that will match this current offer. Well, that's all you, buddy. I could care less. Devin White. 20.3 mil over 5 years. He wants a long contract. He does want a long contract and a 13.9 million signing bonus. That's a lot. That is a lot right now. That's a good offer. I'm glad we got the deal done. Okay, so we keep Devin White. It says 2.2 mil, but Shaq Mason already declined. We're definitely going to have to move some contracts. We're definitely going to have to move some players and try to get some picks back so we don't have to pay extra salary for anybody. So let's see what I can get. All right. Oh, my goodness. Took long enough. We are sending Shaq Mason and Leonard Fournette in a second-round pick next year for the Lions' first-round pick and second-round pick this year. I am more concerned of getting the prospects now and I'll deal with that second round pick missing next year. But Leonard Fournette, not really fitting in the team right now, and I would rather Rachaad White develop than Leonard Fournette continue to regress and take those snaps from him. Shaq Mason doesn't want to come back. I'm not willing to pay him what he wants, so I might as well just get rid of him. And we're getting a first round pick and second round pick that I think will work out. The Lions really only have a good line, and that's about it in this game. In real life, they're great, but I needed to get some salary off, and I might have to look for other players that I might want to package and get rid of and see how many more picks I can get. All right, we're also packing up Shaquille Barrett and a 5th and 6th for a second round pick this year from the Falcons. They wanted him. They're willing to deal with this contract. Can't really pass that up when we have somebody like Trenton Simpson playing right behind Shaquille Barrett. So I want to give Trenton Simpson his snaps. Shaquille Barrett, a great player for the Bucs, but he seems to be on the fall off, so I'm not willing to sit around and just let him eat up my salary with that. All right, so I think that's going to conclude our trades for right now. A lot younger of a team now. Ryan Jensen might have to go next year, but I think he has a good year left in him for us to take advantage of. Chris Godwin's still here. Mike Evans is still here. Rachaad White is now the starting running back. I think we can build off of this. I definitely do. We have a lot of young players around the defense now instead of having some aging ones that are just eating up our salary. Trenton Simpson now left outside linebacker. Devin White is still here. Bobby Okereke, Joe Tryon, Antoine Winfield, CJ Gardner-Johnson. I think it's a great defense. We definitely have to get a left end and a right end because that is a weak position at the moment. But I like how it looks right now. I do like how it looks. Our line, of course, could use some work since I traded away our right guard, but I would rather trade him away and deal with the repercussions of not having him with the rewards that we got from trading him. So, Leonard Fournette gone. Had to be done. But I will see you at the end of the season to see how these players end up doing with this new team. All right, so we did not end up winning enough games to make it into the playoffs. We went 7-10. Not a great look. We can go ahead and take a look at the roster to see if anybody benefited from the trades. Rachaad White is down 2 on morale. That's not great. Hall has gone up a bit. He has gone up a bit. I do like that. Our defense, Devin White's injured. Oh my goodness, I forgot to turn off injuries. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we have somebody that's not even supposed to be playing middle linebacker. I will turn off injuries. Devin White will be back by next season. But overall, I wasn't expecting them to do much better. I thought that 3-4 start was kind of a fluke. I know I traded away a lot of key pieces, but it needed to be done with the contracts that they had. Taking up my salary, I could not risk them staying any longer. But we can go ahead and take a look at the stats. Jaren Hall ended up finishing with a pretty good ratio. 29 TDs, 11 interceptions, almost 4,500 yards as a rookie. Not bad at all. Rachaad White, 494 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3.7 average yards per carry. He didn't have much snaps until we traded away Leonard Fournette. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin both have 1,000-yard seasons. Chris Godwin having 1,312 TDs. That's pretty good. Mike Evans, 1,006 TDs. Also really good. The defense, I'm looking forward to seeing how many. Trenton Simpson had 8.5 sacks. And Vita Vea had 12 and 18 TFLs. Wow. Joe Tryon had 9. That's wild. Okay. We know that our young players are going to show up now. 4 interceptions by Devin White, though. Wish he didn't get injured, but he will be back by next season and won't be able to get injured again. Trey Target Young is his player tag. That's an interesting one. CJ Gardner-Johnson did pretty good. He had 3 interceptions, 2 TFLs, and 90 tackles. I think we could be a lot better. I think we could be a lot better in the upcoming seasons, and I'm looking forward to this draft to see how we do. We can go ahead and actually look at what ended up happening with the Detroit Lions to see if they ended up finishing good or if they ended up not doing as good as we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the Lions were a bottom 6 team. So we did get the 6th overall pick, if I'm not mistaken, by trading for theirs. We were neck and neck with the Falcons at the bottom of the NFC South. Glad I didn't trade for the Falcons pick. They were projected to be a first-round pick or first pick, and it didn't end up happening. I tried to go for the Bears. They're asking for too much. I wasn't willing to give a second-round pick this year or a first-round pick this year. So now we can go into the draft knowing I think we have the 6th pick and maybe like the 10th pick also, or the 12th pick. So we will definitely have to see what prospects we're looking at. And at the end of our first year of the rebuild, the Raiders beat the Panthers in the Super Bowl 30-16. Oh, Jaren Hall won Offensive Rookie of the Year. We could possibly build our team around Jaren Hall. He did pretty good. I mean, he just needs to develop a little more. But he did win Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's great for us. Dre'Mont Jones won Super Bowl MVP for the Raiders. That makes me think a little more about what I'm going to do, because I was going to possibly trade up for a QB, but I wasn't too confident in that QB. Hall did get an attribute upgrade from this. I would imagine that he would have... He did win a player award, but why did his development trait decrease? That doesn't make any sense. You see, I just... Sometimes I can't do it with Madden. They do too much. He is officially a 70 overall. I could possibly stick it out with Jaren Hall. He seems like a pretty good pick that we made in round 3 of the last draft. Mike Evans is down to star. I hate to say it to y'all Bucs fans, but I might have to pack up Mike Evans because he seems to be only regressing right now. His morale's up, but I don't know. He ain't looking too good in terms of now he's star development. Like, I would have thought he probably would have stayed the same since he did get the 1,000-yard receiving season. 31. I don't know. I'll definitely have to look and see if it's worth trading in this draft necessarily. That's going to be difficult. In the mock draft, they have us taking a left tackle at our position with the Lions pick. Javon Long seems to be dropping. Doesn't give me much confidence in him now. His physicals just aren't great to me. I mean, we're going to have to see how he does at the Pro Day and NFL Combine, but he was projected to be top 5, and now he's just falling down. Quarterback doesn't seem like a position that we can draft this year. There's just no quarterbacks that are going in the first round. It's a very defensive and offensive line heavy class. I wouldn't mind taking a left tackle at this position. I don't know why I would take 2 left tackles necessarily, but A, awareness, A, impact blocking, B, pass block, A, pass block power. I mean, this one looks pretty good. Kalen Thompson, we need a left tackle. We do need a left tackle. This wide receiver would be great too. Yeah, it really just depends. This left tackle also looks good. A, awareness, A, pass block finesse, and A, pass block power. So he seems to be strictly a pass protector from TCU. Yeah. I like our quarterback right now in terms of comparing it to the drafts. Right outside linebacker would be great. It seems like that's like the basis of the draft right now. It's very defensive heavy. So the 3 players that I'm going after right now is T. Higgins, Grover Stewart, and Marcus Peters. Grover Stewart and Marcus Peters are both 1-year rentals. I would like to see what's in the next free agency class. T. Higgins is more long-term, of course, because he is young. And I'm looking to trade somebody. Not a lot of the Bucs fans are going to like it. So hopefully this ends up working out. Unfortunately, we weren't even close to getting Nick Bosa. I'm not like overextending myself and dropping an entire half of the salary cap on Nick Bosa like most of these teams are possibly thinking of. Rashad Gary, we really don't need. That's just doing the same thing that we just did. We just traded Shaquille Barrett to give Trenton Simpson his snaps. So I'm hoping that I get T. Higgins and all these players. If I do not, then we have to look at other players to see who we can bring to the team to help us out. We did end up getting all 3 of our signings. T. Higgins decides to come here. Grover Stewart and Marcus Peters decide to come here. Nick Bosa is still here. So is Jonathan Taylor and Justin Herbert. It's just a lot of players that I can't really offer a contract to. They're asking for a little too much money. Jonathan Taylor is just not realistic. It's not realistic. I think Rachaad White is going to develop under our system. And hopefully these signings pan out. We can take a look at the roster right now. I might have to trade Mike Evans. I might have to trade Mike Evans before the draft because this is probably the best time to trade him for picks. I got my wide receiver too with T. Higgins. It's going to suck. It is going to suck to get rid of Mike Evans, but he's getting older. He's only regressing in the game. I wouldn't imagine the Bucs would trade him at any point in his career unless he literally requested for it. So I'm going to see what I can get for him. Hopefully I can get a haul. Right now, not any teams are really giving me what I want for Mike Evans, so I might have to sit and wait until the next draft. He still can possibly be good this year and could help us make a push with the 3 wide receivers that we have now. I'm looking in the draft for linemen, of course. I don't know why Tristan Wirfs is at left tackle, but I'm also looking for a left end and a right end. So hopefully we can find the prospects to fill in those spots. I mean, we can take a look right now. I'm not planning to make any more signings in free agency, but we can take a look at this mock draft that they have us in. Kyle Ward seems to be going up the draft board for the Buccaneers with our 6th pick. They also have us taking Josh Weber. We'll take a look at Kyle Ward first, see how he did at the combine. Did pretty good. He did pretty good. This might be a pick, maybe not the 6th pick. Elite acceleration. He did pretty good. He ranked pretty well in the combine and pro day. He's agile from LSU, a stamina, a run block finesse. So he's definitely a finesse blocker. Power not so much, I would assume. We are now in the draft once again, and the Bears are again the number 1 pick. We'll go by picks. So they go ahead and draft the left outside linebacker, Andrew Woodson. Kareem Brown goes number 2. Lance Benjamin ends up going to the Cardinals. Not great for us. Kalen Thompson ends up getting drafted by the Texans, and the Eagles get Javon Long. Okay, so he dropped to 5. He didn't end up dropping to us. I wasn't going to trade up for him, so we can see what is available at our position right now. Kyle Ward does look good. We don't need outside linebackers. Brian Calhoun, I think I can pick at the next pick. Ooh, Hal Tanley looks pretty decent. Physical's not so much, but his skills, not so much either. I was very clickbait of Madden to do that there. I thought I found my right guard of the future. Michael Turner, though. Elite change of direction, ranked pretty well amongst 6 centers. B awareness, B impact blocking, F injury. That's not going to be an issue. A lead block, A run block. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get Kyle Ward at the 6th pick. Hopefully he is hidden development. 90 strength, 85 acceleration, 76 jumping. Don't know why that matters, but a good right tackle. Can move him over to left tackle possibly. He is left-handed, so that could help us when we move him to left tackle. I want Tristan Wirfs to stay at his primary position, so we will have to see who ends up dropping to us at the 11th pick. Brian Calhoun gets drafted right after us. That sucks. That sucks. Okay. Oh! I was going to pick Hal Tanley anyways. I'm not going to lie. I needed the right guard. Round 2, pick number 6. Tight end, Chuck Thomas. We do need a tight end. We don't need a wide receiver just yet. Looks pretty decent. B run block, B deep route, A medium route, B break tackle. I think this looks pretty good in terms of him dropping to the beginning of the second for us. We don't need a left tackle anymore. QB Tyler Browning looks pretty good. A awareness, A break sack, B play action, B deep accuracy, B medium, B short, A under pressure. I mean, Tyler Browning. What's our next draft slot? Oh, we have 3 picks later, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take Tyler Browning. He looks really good. If you guys did not see it, he has elite jumping, great agility, great acceleration, great change of direction, great strength. He ranked first in almost everything. He ranked first in the 40, broad jump, 3-cone drill, 20-yard shuttle. I think that looks pretty good. I mean, he looks pretty decent in his skills. A under pressure and A break sack, so he can definitely get out the pocket. We can draft him, possibly use him as trade bait if we like Hall more. I think I'm going to take him. I like him at this position. We don't need any linemen right now. I don't see any ends that are really standing out to me. There's defensive tackle. There's no ends that are like worth drafting at this position. So I think this is just a situation of, yeah, it's not until round 2 to 3 that they have an end getting picked. And honestly, I'm not willing to reach that far. I'm going to go ahead and take Tyler Browning. I do like him a lot. Hopefully he has hidden development. And he does. 88 throw power, 88 acceleration, 88 agility, 89 change direction, 84 speed. Hopefully the tight end drops to our position. I'm hoping that he does. The Titans get a center. Okay, and John Baker goes to the Packers. The tight end is here. We also have another pick and 2 picks. I think we're going to go ahead and get Chuck Thomas like I was just talking about. He looks pretty good, and he's younger than most. So Washington State vertical threat, 6'3", 251 pounds. At 23 years old, he looks pretty good. I think I'm going to take him at this pick. Chuck Thomas, hidden development as well. 88 acceleration, 81 speed, 80 agility, 79 change of direction. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm hoping that he develops. And we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see what we do at this next pick that we have. Pick 11. Daniel Reed goes to the Giants. Was not planning to get him. I'm going to go ahead and take a look and update y'all on who I end up taking. John Hillman, left tackle. A pass block, B impact blocking, B pass block power, A awareness. He looks pretty good. A pass protector might be what we need. He does look pretty good. I was looking at a left guard as well down here. I don't think the wide receivers look that great in this draft, to be honest with you. They're not great, and I don't think they're worth the picks that we have right now. I really want to focus on the line. Left guard, I think it is Chad Conley at left guard. He looks pretty good. He's agile, ranked well on the pro day. B injury, B lead block, B pass block, B awareness, and B run block. Not bad, but I do like Hillman just a little bit more. I think we can move him to another position, but I do like him a lot. I think I'm going to get Sean Hillman here. Hidden development once again. We're going to have a full line of hidden development. I like what we're doing so far. I think this will definitely be the route that the Bucs go with trying to draft for the line in one of the years. And I'm excited for this for sure. Right outside linebacker, Terrell Fitzsimmons. This guy looks generational. In round 3 to 4, almost elite everything. He has good jumping and solid strength, which I wouldn't expect coming from somebody that is a pass coverage right outside linebacker. I mean, his stats don't really match up, but also the ones that relate to his physicals aren't even determined. I think we're going to go with Terrell Fitzsimmons at this pick. Hidden development in round 3, pass coverage right outside linebacker. I think that's great. I think that Joe Tryon can be the rushing right outside linebacker, and Terrell Fitzsimmons can be the pass coverage one. 91 acceleration, 89 agility, 86 speed. Not bad at all in round 3. So we are sending our 5th, 6th, and 7th round pick for our 4th round pick from the Bears. Wow, of next year. Hopefully that ends up panning out. We tend to have better picks between 1 and 4. 5 to 6 is just kind of shooting in the dark at that point. But we are going to end this draft, and hopefully our team looks pretty good at the start of the season. So we have an offer or offers from teams that want Grover Stewart. I really only got him as a backup for Vita Vea since our scheme only runs one defensive tackle at a time. But I mean, with the way that they have... Oh, looks like Tanley was a pretty good pick. Hillman doesn't seem to be too good, but it's pretty interesting because there's some decent trades for him. I mean, we can take a look right now, but the trade offers that we're getting for Grover Stewart is a bit head scratching. Defensive tackle, I think, is a rookie in some sort. A bunch of players that are just kind of rookies. A halfback that I think was in the last draft. So some good players from Pittsburgh. I mean, the one that I'm really, or ones that I'm really interested in is this one by the Colts with Kwity Paye. I'm more focused on the ends right now. There's other good options. I mean, Byron Jones, it's a bit too much money for me to be taking up. And also this right end over here. I think I want to take Kwity Paye. I think he can develop a little more left end. And also I'm planning to move Joe Tryon to right end. So I'm going to go ahead and take this trade. Kwity Paye for Grover Stewart. I think that's a great trade. I don't know why they ended up wanting that, but... So this is how our roster looks at the beginning of this season. It looks like Rachaad White developed a bit over the offseason. Looks pretty good to me. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, T. Higgins, and Russell Gage are all our wide receivers right now. I hope they fix this situation right here. I don't want Cade Otton to get the snaps over our rookie tight end, but I ended up moving Joe Tryon to right end. He seems to be better in that kind of space with the rushing situation. Fitzsimmons is more of a pass coverage type of guy, so I felt like this would kind of fit the defense. So I'm hoping the defense really shows up this year. Trenton Simpson, looking for him to have a big season. I think our team looks pretty good, especially the defense. The offense literally just has to develop more, and hopefully Browning will be able to develop with his wide receiver core that he has right now. So we are at the beginning of season 2 of the rebuild, and hopefully our draft pick and the rookie QB is going to pan out. And if not, we might have to make some serious changes at the midseason mark. Holy shit. 0-6 is how we have started this season. Excuse my language, but wow. I mean, it could not have started off worse for us. I don't know what's going on. Browning still hasn't fully developed. I feel like they're trying to split the snaps between them. They might be. And I don't know if I like that. But, wow. 0-6. That's one way to start off a season. I mean, our defense hasn't changed much. Fitzsimmons hasn't developed at all. Wow. That's concerning. Um, I don't even know how to react. We're 0-6 in season 2. Well, we can go ahead and look at the stats and maybe see why. We're 30th in offensive yards. Very impressive. Wow. 16th in defensive yards. So middle of the pack in defense. They haven't given any snaps to Jaren Hall. So I'm confused how he doesn't have enough snaps to have his full development. But anyways, 1,800 yards, 12 TDs, 2 interceptions. Not a bad start. Not a bad start at all. Very interesting though. I might have to trade Jaren Hall just for assets, I guess, because it seems like we're not doing good. Rachaad White has 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. Browning has 115 and 1 touchdown. I'm just concerned right now. 610 yards for Chris Godwin, 6 TDs. T. Higgins with 402 TDs, and Mike Evans with 403 TDs. I'm so taken aback right now. We're 0-6. Bob Okereke, not doing too good, but Joe Tryon keeping up with his sacks. Vita Vea also has 2, but 5 TFLs. Kwity Paye has 8 TFLs. Trenton Simpson has 5 TFLs. I mean, I think the defense is kind of the one to blame right now. Not gonna lie. I mean, CJ Gardner-Johnson has not done anything this season as of yet. Huh. Very interesting. I think we might have to change the playbook and see how that works. But, So I've gone ahead and changed the playbook to the Baltimore playbook. Since we do have a rushing quarterback, it seems like he likes to rush a lot. We have 2 rushing quarterbacks, actually, and Rachaad White. So I think that would work. I would just hope they slowly move Thomas into this tight end 1 position, but I'll let them be with that because they keep changing my thing. And we change the schemes to fit it better. I mean, we don't have the defensive tackle 2 to be able to do it now since we did trade away Grover Stewart. But, I mean, there's really not much else I can do at this point. I just have to hope that they perform better. I think I'm going to keep Jaren Hall for the time being. See how Browning does for the rest of the season. Let's go ahead and see what players are ready to negotiate. That defensive tackle was not a concern of mine, but Tristan Wirfs is. We have 115 million in cap. Probably why? Because most of our star players are just looking to get re-signed. Okay. I'm definitely gonna have to get Tristan Wirfs back. That's for sure. Treat him nicely. Treat him very nicely, actually. Give him a very player-friendly deal right here. Actually, we'll do player-friendly. Hopefully, he just accepts like that. That's a good offer. I'm glad we got the deal done. Okay, so I didn't have to overpay for him. Chris Godwin, also looking for an extension. 19.6 mil per year. Kind of the contract that he's at right now. Player-friendly. I think I like this a lot because I might have to pack up Mike Evans pretty soon. That's a good offer. I'm glad we got the deal done. Okay, so we got our 2 big players on offense. Ryan Jensen looking to come back for a cheap deal, I would say. I'm going to hope that he takes this. I need a bigger offer to overcome this team not being a fit for me. Oh, excuse me. Carlton Davis is also looking to re-sign. Oh, Kwity Paye. I mean, it was a 1-year rental anyway, so I'll just let him be for right now. Joe Tryon, I did like Joe Tryon. 9.89 mil per year. I'll offer him this. I need a bigger offer to overcome that the team is not fit, huh? Interesting. Okay. Guess I'm just gonna have to look for trades right now. Ryan Jensen is already aging anyways. He's still a great center, but I guess he's not worth it anymore since he doesn't want to come back right now. Not a lot of trades that I'm willing to make for Ryan Jensen and Joe Tryon right now, so I'm going to hope that I can re-sign him at the end of the season. But we are going to go ahead and sim to the end of the season. Hopefully we make a turnaround and make the playoffs, but we'll have to see. And now we are at the end of the season. We ended up not doing any better whatsoever. We went 4-13. Very impressive, guys. We love to see it. Let's see what happened with our roster. Oh, Browning is a superstar. Okay, that's a positive of this. Also, our new tight end is a superstar. We have to get rid of Kate Otten. I think there's no way around it. I think he has to go. Vita Vea went up to superstar. Fitzsimmons did not pan out that well. I hope that he ends up developing a bit. -2 morale for Jamal Dean. It's not looking great right now. I think we definitely have the blueprint for next season. We just have to draft correctly, but we can go ahead and look at the stats on the season. We were 32nd in offensive yards. That is bad. And 26th in defensive. That's not good. 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions by Tyler Browning. Pretty decent. I mean, it's his rookie year. Again, we have another rookie quarterback. 779 yards by Rachaad White and 9 TDs. Probably because Tyler Browning took 555 of those. Receiving, Chris Godwin's the only one that got into that 1,300 range or 1,000 in general. He got 15 touchdowns. T. Higgins had 904 touchdowns. Mike Evans had 854 and 6 touchdowns. Not bad. Mike Evans, I'm split on Mike Evans for sure. 9.5 sacks by Vita Vea in 15 TFLs. That's insane. Joe Tryon had a pretty good season. 10 TFLs, 7.5 sacks, 6.5 sacks, and 18 TFLs for Kwity Paye. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff overall. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jamal Dean does have the most interceptions with CJ Gardner and Bobby Okereke with 2 each. So it's not bad right now. But we definitely have to make some moves with only 19 million in cap right now. So we're going to go ahead and go to the offseason and try to see what happens. And at the end of the 2024 season, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Atlanta Falcons. And we have nobody that got any rewards on our team. Javon Long actually ended up panning out for the Eagles. That's good for them. I think Tyler Browning is going to be good for us the more they get into the scheme. But the Falcons get blown out in the Super Bowl. Seems like they made some good moves over that time. But now we have 75 million in cap. And the only 2 players that I would want to re-sign is maybe Ryan Jensen and Joe Tryon. But it just depends on how much they're going to take from our cap. Ryan Jensen would be great also just because of trade bait. Since he is 33, if I'm not mistaken. He's 34, actually. He won $6 million over 1 year and a 5.77 million signing bonus. Carlton Davis and Marcus Peters are both with expiring contracts. Carlton Davis only wants a 1-year deal as well. Joe Tryon wants a 2-year deal. I would like to play for a new team next year. That's fantastic. Great. Didn't get any value out of Ryan Jensen. What is 15 mil for 1 year? I'm okay. Carlton Davis, I'm not going to go too crazy on giving you a contract. I'll give you a neutral one. Thanks for the offer, but I'm not interested in signing. Great. Another one bites the dust. Kwity Paye I would like to have back. He's eating a lot of the cap for being a left end. I'm also going to give him this. All right. 0 for 3. We're doing great right now. I'm doing so good right now. Joe Tryon. This one I really want back. I definitely want Joe Tryon back. I'm going to give him a player-friendly contract. Maybe increase this a little bit. Make it 11.5. Okay, so we got Joe Tryon back. Not a bad right end. I just need at least 2 people on that line. All right, and after the first stage of free agency, I ran myself clean, but Christian Wilkins is somebody that I'm going after at right end. It will really decide what we end up going after in the draft. But Christian Wilkins, hopefully we're able to get him. Trey Smith is a right guard that I was looking into, possibly moving him to left guard, or just having him there and moving everybody else. Travis Etienne, Rashad White is not developing as fast as I was expecting him to. Carlton Davis, trying to bring back the cornerback so we can still have a room of cornerbacks. And Kwity Paye, not getting paid that much by other people, giving him a good contract. We will end up seeing who ends up signing in this next day of free agency. So we did end up getting 4 out of the 5 players that we are looking into. Christian Wilkins wants to come to the Bucs. So does Travis Etienne, Carlton Davis, and Kwity Paye. Trey Smith ended up going to the Titans. Wanted to go there more. I'm not going to make him come over here. Ryan Jensen ends up leaving us. We didn't have a chance. I tried to give him a contract. We weren't even close. I also tried to give these higher players, Jeffrey Simmons and Hassan Reddick, a contract, and they just didn't want to come. So it looks like the Titans had a pretty big free agency. So hopefully we don't have to run into them. But I think that's going to do it for this one, for this free agency. I mean, I might try to go after Jalen Phillips. We don't have the cap space for him. Okay, well, I traded Mike Evans and Kate Otten. Mike Evans is only regressing. I had to get as much draft capital as possible, and they weren't giving the first round pick. I did not think they were going to agree to this so quickly. But we got a center in Corey Linsley and a second round pick in this draft. Hopefully it pans out. We need a center, and there's not a lot going on in this draft at all. So I have to see what I can do. We're negative 15 mil in cap. Wow. All right, and we're gonna hop into the draft with negative cap. Not a good look right now. We have the second pick. I have an eye on somebody. He gets Jeff Van Buren. Okay. I wanted to see what they were offering in terms of trades. It's not enough. It's a second round pick, or a second pick, and we're not even getting like the correct amount. I'm gonna take a look at the roster. What is Tyler Browning's? He's a 75, and I don't know if Tyler Browning's a guy. I think I'm gonna have to pack them up for a first round pick. I really can't see a world where I don't get this scrambler QB, and I know that it's my 3rd year getting a different QB. But this Dean Davidson looks pretty good right now. He looks pretty good. He has elite acceleration, elite change of direction, and elite strength. Ranked pretty well in the NFL Combine and College Pro Day. Almost has the same stats as Doron. And to have a top 5 pick that could possibly already be an 80 overall, just develop over the years or year, would be great. I feel like the QB position is the most important one. And this seems like the pick for us. We keep losing, and it's possibly because of our QB that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and get Dean Davidson here. Hidden development, some great stats. Some great stats. Okay, I'm pretty confident in that pick. I mean, it's my 3rd year picking a QB, but it's my first one picking in the first round. This team has just not been doing well, and I feel like the QB position is the most important one to have a great QB at. He's a bit down the draft board, but Alex Dillard looks good in terms of, well, he ranked pretty well in the NFL Combine. His skills are what kind of get me, because they have a wide receiver ranked higher than him, but he's just not as good as him. I think I'm going to go with Alex Dillard here. I kind of tried to look at the linemen. They're not good. They're not good in this round, so I'm going to hope that he is good. He is. He has hidden development, 93 speed, 90 jumping, 88 change of direction, 87 agility, and 90 acceleration. Not bad at all. Hopefully he does develop in our system. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Carson Baker. It's a position of need right now. And I just traded for a center, like literally just traded for him. I hope that Carson Baker is good, and he is. He has hidden development. That's all I need to know right now. Hopefully our line continues to build up right now, but I really don't see any other positions of need at the moment in terms of the drafts. I try to get a left outside linebacker with the trade. Our salary cap is not reset yet, so hopefully by the start of the season we'll be able to trade some players. But so at the start of the season, Davidson is actually a 73 overall, so I guess they'll just have to figure out who gets the ball more. Dilliard is a 78 though, so that's a pretty good option at wide receiver 3 right now. We have our superstar tight end playing at starter. Our line looks pretty good. They just had to develop just a little bit. Our defense looks pretty good as well. I think Fitzsimmons just has to get back up in overall or development trait. I think this team looks pretty good. I wouldn't see why we wouldn't perform well. We have the wide receivers. We have the running back now. The quarterback can figure it out. We have a great tight end. I mean, it's just, I can't imagine us not succeeding in some way. We will go ahead and sim to the midseason mark, hoping that something goes right in this season, because we have had losing seasons back to back. At the midseason mark, we are 3-4. Not as bad as before. Not as bad as before at all. We do have some players ready to negotiate. I would assume, I think... No. Okay. So Tristan Wirfs is not here. I did re-sign him. I completely forgot about that. Our punter is up for a contract. Rashad White might be leaving, my boy. I'm not going to lie. You were not improving at all. You weren't when you were a starter. Not much to do. Not much to do with these free agents that we have going out. Probably the only person I'll actually go after is the punter. He's great. Corey Linsley, bit too old to be giving you $6.3 million a year. If I find somebody in the draft, and I find somebody in the draft, but I'll probably sign somebody else that's actually worth signing. But we will take a quick look at the lineup right now. Hopefully there is some improvement going on. I would hope so. Browning is still a star. ETN has improved. The line has improved a bit. Dilliard has improved a bit. I think I'm going to have to do something about the QBs, because I cannot imagine that we're just going to sit here and hope that they do something with it. But I don't think I have the cap space to do it right now. I would have to probably wait until this upcoming free agency to make a move for a QB. Unfortunately, we would not be able to make any moves for QB right now, so hopefully they just develop and figure it out. We are 15th in offensive yards on the season and 28th in defensive yards. Ouch. Okay. 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions by Browning. Not great. 9 touchdowns and 717 yards by Travis Etienne. Tyler Browning also has 6 touchdowns and 221 yards. Not bad. Receiving, Dilliard is our leading receiver right now. They must have put him at slot. He's doing great. I hope he continues to progress, because this guy right here is only getting older, and I don't know what I'm going to do with him. Chuck Thomas is also performing well as our starting tight end, so that's great. Defense. Y'all seem to be struggling right now. TFLs. Christian Watkins has 9. Vita Vea has 7. Devin White has 2. I mean, Christian Watkins is leading in everything, basically. 5.5 sacks. 4 sacks for Vita Vea. 4 sacks for Kwity Paye. Interceptions aren't looking great either, so that's most likely why we're one of the worst defenses in the league, even though we have great defensive players. All right, and hopefully we continue this pace. We're at 3-4. We're third in the division right now. I think we can pick it up. Hopefully we can pick it up. I don't know what I'm going to do if we don't, but we're going to sim to the playoffs and hope that we're able to pick it up after a change in the defensive playbook, because it seems like it's just the plays that are being called right now. I think this is when desperation sets in for the Bucs. I'm tired of trying to draft a generational QB or something, because I feel like every single time that I do it, it's not going to pan out right now. The QBs don't even look that great in this draft. think we're just going to have to trade for one. This one looks okay, but I don't think we're at that pick. It's all the same. It's all the same situations, and I don't want to keep changing QBs, but I think I just have to make one more change to QB, and then that's it. Like, that'll be when we win the Super Bowl. But man, another season of not making it to the playoffs. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. 31st in offensive yards and 19th in defensive. So we picked it up on defense. Offense does not look good at all. 21 TDs and 17 interceptions by Tyler Browning. Davidson didn't even get a chance to do anything. I just think we have to pack them all up. I just think it's over. I think it's over for them. 1,300 yards and 16 TDs by Travis Etienne. Wow. Nobody got to 1,000. Chris Godwin picked it up. I mean, just a bunch of mediocre things going on here. TFLs, Vita Vea and Christian Watkins had 15 TFLs. Joe Tryon had 10 and 6.5 sacks. He picked it up because he was not doing good at the midseason mark. Kwity Paye had 9 sacks. Christian Watkins had 7.5. Joe Tryon had 6.5. The defense just seemed to pick it up after that midseason mark, but the offense just didn't do anything to help out. All right, and at the end of 2025, we do not have any award winners on our team, but the Chiefs beat the Giants, and Patrick Mahomes is still on a tear. Are we surprised? Nope. We are going to have to make some major changes at the QB position. I feel like there's no other way around it. Rhett Brooks doesn't look great. I'm not willing to do another season with the rookie quarterback. I'm a bit tired of it. I think it's just time to really unload a bunch of picks or something to get a actual QB on our team, and hopefully that'll work. But man, that's going to be 4 QBs in 4 seasons. That would be the Bucs' luck. All right, a bit desperate, just a bit desperate, but the QB situation will not be figured out by one season. I'm trading 2 first-round picks this year and next year for Bryce Young. The only one that I can be able to trade for and not have contract issues with, and I think that's the only way right now. 4 years into his career, we're getting Bryce Young, and now we have, I think, 15 mil to work with in this free agency. This looks good to me now. I would like to trade away these players since they're not going to be playing and get some value out of them, maybe a first-round pick this year. Our defense is getting older, so we definitely have to pick up something. So I'm going to try to trade our backup QBs for a first-round pick, and if not, then don't know what we're going to do. All right, so we trade our 2 backup QBs other than Jaren Hall and a second-round pick next year for a first-round pick this year. As you can see, I'm not planning to make this more than just this year right now. I think it's past due just because all of our players on defense are getting older. And this is our window right now. This is the exact window that we need to win a championship at the moment. Our roster right now looks pretty good. We can't really do much in free agency. We do not have the cap space to do so. We have the picks to go into the draft and have some options to bring in. I'm really looking for somebody to replace Trenton Simpson over here because he has not developed whatsoever. Our middle linebackers are there. Right outside linebacker. I mean, if I find a better right outside linebacker, I'll take him. But really right now, this is our window. This is our only chance at the moment. Center might be something that I try to go after as well in the draft. So I'm definitely going to have to be looking around for that. I just now realized before we get into the draft, we were 1 win away from going into the playoffs. The top of the conference, or the top of the division, was 7-10. I didn't even realize that. Okay. we're going to go ahead and get into the draft. Absolutely insane. We have the 11th pick right now. I'm just going to go ahead and sim. Not going to attach myself too much to any players. Juan Howard gets picked. Juan Howard gets picked right before us. Center is a position of need. That is for sure. I would have loved to see a right outside linebacker up here. Or a left outside linebacker. There's none. Yeah, Gordon Dansby looks okay, but that's a round 1 to 2 prospect, and I would like to see what Glenn Smith is all about and hope that he is hidden development. Wow, he is fast. 95 speed, 96 change of direction, 94 acceleration, and 89 agility. He's 5'11". He's a man-to-man, 22 years old out of Temple. Not bad. Not bad at all. I like our pick in the first round. I think we do have a second round pick. We do. So I will go ahead and sim to that, and hopefully we will be able to find a position of need there. Yeah. Yep. I don't even have to think about it. We need a center. Alec Brooks is here. He's projected to go round 2 to 3. But we need a center. He has elite jumping, elite speed. Ranked incredibly amongst the centers. Has pretty good skills. Pass block power isn't great, but I think he's going to be a great pick out of Stanford. 6'2", 312 pounds, has hidden development, 89 strength. Everything else doesn't really matter as a lineman. I think that was a great pick for us. Didn't want to pick any other positions that we really didn't need. Okay, I will show you guys who I was planning to pick. It was going to be Trey Burse, right outside linebacker, pass coverage. Had some decent physicals. It wasn't outstanding. His skills were a little better. B catching, A-man coverage, C play recognition. It wasn't standing out to me, but we needed a right outside linebacker. Then I saw Lonnie Proctor down here, who has almost elite everything in physicals. Did pretty good. His skills are pretty good as well. They're almost the same. He has A zone coverage. I would assume he has A-man coverage as well. I think we're going to go with Lonnie Proctor here and hope that he is good. He does have hidden development, 89 speed, 85 jumping, 89 agility, 90 acceleration, 77 strength. I think that's a great pick. Also because our former right outside linebacker just decided to not be good at all. So hopefully he can pan out. I might pack up our former one and hope that Lonnie Proctor is our next generational talent right now. I am going to go ahead and get this left outside linebacker here. Bring a little competition into that room. He does have hidden development. Wow. Not bad stats. I mean, I wasn't really expecting him to be hidden development, to be honest with you. But I just wanted him to come in and bring some competition to Trenton Simpson because he does not seem to be doing anything whatsoever. But I think we're just going to sim to the end of the draft. Let the CPU do the rest of the picks. There was nothing else that I saw other than that left outside linebacker. So hopefully our team looks good to start off the season. So in possibly our last season of the rebuild, our offense looks great after the trades that we made and the picks that we made too, with the center looking pretty good so far. Our defense, Proctor is actually less of an overall than Fitzsimmons, so we'll see how that pans out. Trent Simpson is higher than Logan. We'll have to see how that works out as well. But I think this Glenn Smith cornerback over here is going to be great. I think I'm going to put him at CB3, and hopefully he'll be able to develop a lot in that position. I just don't see how we get much better than this right now without literally being in cap hell. Oh, thank God. Wow. Finally, a winning season at the midseason mark so far. I hope that continues, because that would be heartbreaking if it doesn't. 5-1. 5-1 to start the season. That is fantastic, as our offense looks good at the moment. T. Higgins is improving. Our wide receivers in general are improving. Travis Etienne and Bryce Young are playing well. I think our offense is doing fantastic. Our defense still looks the same, but they're doing good. It seems like they're doing good. We can go ahead and check the stats and see what they're excelling at right now. We are 19th in offensive yards. And let's see. First in defensive yards. So it seems like our defense is really showing up right now. Bryce Young has 1,700 yards and 12 TDs with 5 interceptions. Not bad. Rushing, Travis Etienne has 405 yards with 4 TDs. Also not that bad. Bryce Young has 98 yards and 2 TDs. Okay. Receiving, Chris Godwin has 589 and 4 TDs, I would imagine, since he is our slot receiver. T. Higgins, 373 yards and 4 TDs. We're doing pretty good. But it seems like the defense is really what's showing up right now. Joe Tryon has 6 TFLs. Vita Vea has 5. Kwity Paye has 4. Sacks, Vita Vea has 4.5. Joe Tryon has 1.5. It might be interceptions that has done us good, which it is. Bobby Okereke has 2 picks. Gardner Johnson has 2 picks. Jamal Dean has 1. And Antoine Winfield has 1. So we're doing good. We're doing good so far. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we are 5-1, and hopefully we can keep that up. We can take a look at who needs to be re-signed possibly at the end of the season. 70 mil, so ooh. Bryce Young and Vita Vea have their contracts up. So do Jamal Dean and Trenton Simpson. I think this is probably our last season to like really push for something, because if we don't, then we're going to have some trouble re-signing these players in the offseason. But I would rather wait until then, see if we're able to win. Bryce Young is going to take a lot of my cap. I will not lie. 13-4 is how we end this season. It was worth it. It was worth giving up our first-round pick of this year, because we would be struggling right now still. We'll go ahead and look at the roster first, take a quick look at if anybody got any development upgrades or attribute upgrades right now. No, not necessarily. It seems like it's a lot of morale. Tristan Wirfs just keeps getting better. I hope we take this morale into the playoffs. But it seems like our team overall is doing pretty well. I think this is our year right now. I'm hoping for the same energy that we've had in the regular season, being 13-4, to be here in the playoffs, especially against the Atlanta Falcons. 9-8. We should not lose to the Atlanta Falcons. We are first in offensive yards. What about defensive? 9th in defensive. So it took a little bit of a dip on defense, but whoa, Bryce Young picked it up. 5,200 yards, 46 TDs, and 13 interceptions. That is impressive. That is very impressive. Travis Etienne had 1,200 yards and 10 TDs on the year. Bryce Young had 228 with 4 TDs. I mean, we have 2 players that were in the 1,000s. Chris Godwin almost got to 2,000. He had 1,718 TDs. T. Higgins had 1,209 TDs. Dilliard is doing his thing too. 856 for 6 TDs. And Chuck Thomas had 9 TDs on 851 yards. Our defense, what happened? Because our offense picked it up and y'all just started to kind of go like that. Vita Vea, 13 TFLs. Kwity Paye, 10. Joe Tryon, 10. Not bad at all. Vita Vea was also leading in sacks. Joe Tryon had 5.5. Fitzsimmons had 3.5. Very interesting. A great overall season. Now we just have to take it into the playoffs and hopefully be able to beat our first team, being the Atlanta Falcons right now. The Atlanta Falcons currently have Jalen Hurts, and they start off with the field goal, but we answer back with a touchdown before the end of the half. Hopefully we can keep the same energy going right now. It's back and forth. They get a touchdown of their own, but we also get one before the half, and we almost got one. They get a field goal to knock it down to a 1-point lead for us. I do think they start off with the ball at the half, though. They do, and they go downfield and get a touchdown as we get one ourselves. And at the start of the fourth, we are up by 3. I might have to take this game play by play so that we do not do anything crazy. And we get a touchdown to start off the fourth quarter. We kick it off. The Atlanta Falcons go downfield and only get a field goal. We really only have to run out the clock, and they get a turnover and get a touchdown immediately. The PAT was good, and it's a tie game. A big reception by Chris Godwin. Another big reception by T. Higgins, a 20-yard reception, but it looks like we got sacked for 7 yards. We go up with a 5-yard rush. Oh, no. 4th and 10. Can we make this field goal? And we do. We make it a 32-29 game. Jake Moody coming in clutch. We kick it off. It's 2-minute warning. Incomplete pass. They get a sack. Oh, 10-yard penalty against the center. But they get a gain of 14 to Drake London. But they get sacked by Devin White. And they get stopped once again. And we get the ball back. And I think that is going to be the end of the game. We make the field goal. I don't think there's a way that they come back into this. 9-yard reception. 20-yard reception. We got to stop him. We have to stop him. 30 seconds left on the clock. An 8-yard reception. And they get the touchdown. Pass to Anthony Cooper and make the field goal. I think I have to jump in and try to save us here. I think this is where I have to jump in. I don't think... Oh, never mind. A 16-yard reception. Do we call the timeout? We do. We get a 15-yard reception to Chris Godwin. We get another 14-yard reception. We're in field goal range. Do we make the field goal? We get another big reception by Chuck Thomas, a 19-yard one. This has to... It comes down to our kicker right now. And he does make the field goal with 8 seconds left on the clock. I don't think... They can't come back into this. Pass knocked away by Glenn Smith, our rookie. An interception by Jamal Dean for 84 yards. And that is going to be the end of the wild card game. I'm glad I held myself back because I do not think I would have been able to do the same thing that the CPU did. We win the game 38-36, a very close game. It was hard fought. Should have been that close, but sometimes the playoffs is just a different breed than the regular season. All right, and in the divisional, we are facing the Detroit Lions. Hopefully, they had a good season as well. I really hope that we're able to hold our own better than we did against the Atlanta Falcons, to be honest. And in the start of this, we go downfield, get a field goal and a touchdown, but it seems like we missed a PAT. I'm going to go ahead and go play-by-play. The Lions are going downfield. They get a touchdown of their own and make the PAT. Looks like we're going down, but we get stopped. A 5-yard penalty on the right tackle. 2nd and 18. We punt it away. Cameron Johnston punts for 60 yards for a touchback. 29-yard reception. That's not looking good, but it doesn't seem like they got any points off of that. Bryce Young is at midfield, and it seems like we're getting stopped. But Jake Moody makes a 55-yard field goal. Wow. Okay. Detroit Lions are getting stopped right now. 4th and 9, and they punt it away. We get a big reception by T. Higgins. We're doing pretty well right now. We just have to keep holding it right now. Bryce Young gets sacked for an 8-yard loss, but that doesn't matter because Chris Godwin went downfield with the 45-yard touchdown before the end of the half. Kickoff. They might have a chance to score right before the half if they're able to get into field goal range, and it seems like they do. They do make the field goal right before the half, but they're still down by 9 going into it. And the Lions start off with the ball. They're going downfield, but then it seems like they got stopped. 4th and 9. He made a 62-yard field goal. Wow. Okay. We have to pick it up. The Lions have the ball once again. It seems like we got a turnover. 3rd and 12, a 16-yard reception by Jameson Williams. We have to... Okay, they got only a field goal. We're going downfield. We need to get points on the board, and we make a field goal of our own to keep it at a 9-point game. The Lions got a big reception, and they go down and get another field goal. All we have to do is hold onto it. A 27-yard reception by T. Higgins. 4th and 5, pass knocked away. We're at the 45-yard line. an 8-yard reception, and we get a first down. We're going downfield once again, very progressively. We might get a touchdown here. 3rd and 6, 17-yard reception, 1st and goal, 3-yard rush. And we do get a touchdown. That might be game. That's 14 points that they would have to overcome, and they did not get any scores whatsoever to come back. 30-16. Not a blowout. It was back-to-back for a good minute, but we did end up winning at the end of it in the divisional, 30-16. Bryce Young is showing up. Giving up those 2 first-round picks were definitely worth it for Bryce Young. All right, now we're facing the New York Giants in the conference championship. They had a much better record than us at 15-2. That scares me just a little bit, but our overalls are better. Hopefully, we're able to keep the same momentum that we have going from the Lions game into this game against the Giants. To find out, Lonnie Proctor is a superstar X Factor. Out of absolutely nowhere. I mean, why is he not starting? Superstar X Factor, I mean, we have to get him in right now. I don't see no other way. But we'll get into the conference championship. That's our first Superstar X Factor this entire time. All right, and in the NFC championship, the Bucs are going downfield, but they get stopped, and the Giants now have the ball and also punt it away. It's back-to-back right now. But we get a touchdown to start off the game and make the PAT. The Giants don't do anything with it. It's back and forth right now. They get a touchdown, and we were not able to do much with it. They punt it away back to us. We're going downfield, it seems. 4th and 1. Jake Moody missed a 60-yard field goal. That was a big risk. They get a touchdown now. The Bucs are going downfield and get a touchdown to answer back. Before the half, they also get a stop and get a touchdown, but the extra point is blocked. That's a new one. The Giants seem to be going downfield, but they don't get a touchdown on their last play of the game. Ooh, it's a tight game. It's a tight game right now. The Giants are going downfield progressively. They made the field goal. The Bucs just need to answer back and get something on the board, and they end up getting only a field goal. The Giants are going downfield. They get stopped a bit, and then they end up getting a touchdown of their own. The Bucs need to answer back, and they end up punting it away. 45 yards, but an interception by Carlton Davis, and he gets down to the 1, and a 5-yard touchdown by T. Higgins. And a 2-point conversion. Converted by our young player, not even a rookie anymore. The Giants have to answer back in some way, but they punt it away back to us, and we're chewing clock as much as we can. But we also punt it back. Hopefully we can stop them once again, and they punt it again. The Bucs seem to have this in the bag, maybe. 4th and 3. They tried to go for it, and it didn't work out, and that is going to be the end of the NFC Championship. 31-24, the Bucs come out on top and win that game. Wow. Wow, that was a tight one right there. NFC Championship, we're going to the Super Bowl. Finally, Bryce Young is taking us there with our loaded lineup right now. 0 interceptions by Bryce Young and 294 passing yards. That is amazing. Now we face the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson, who I was considering trading for, but couldn't handle his salary. Hopefully we can come out on top and finish this rebuild off. Quick update before we go into the game. Bryce Young is now a superstar X Factor. Travis Etienne dropped for some reason. Antoine Winfield is now a superstar X Factor as well. So our team looks amazing right now. We just have to be able to execute on the biggest stage of them all and hopefully beat the Baltimore Ravens. All right, and on the biggest stage in Miami, Florida, the Baltimore Ravens are going downfield but punt it to the Buccaneers, and we end up going downfield and getting a touchdown, 7-0 to start off the game. Baltimore Ravens only get a field goal. But the Bucs get it back and get a field goal of their own to make it a touchdown lead. And the Bucs just seem to be on one right now. Another field goal, not quite a touchdown, but the Baltimore Ravens cannot seem to get anything going as they get a touchdown. The Bucs do not convert on third down, end up punting it away to about the 17-yard line right before the half. This is where we have our weaknesses. We cannot stop them right before the half. And they don't end up getting any points at all before the half. The Bucs have the ball. They're going downfield. 2nd and 5, 3rd and 3, 1st and 10. They're going to the goal line. 3rd and 2, 4th and 2. They're probably just going to take the field goal. They go for it. A 6-yard rush by Travis Etienne for the touchdown on 4th down. That is impressive. 20-10, a 10-point lead for the Buccaneers. A 70-yard punt by the Baltimore Ravens. That is insane. The Bucs slowly going downfield, but are not able to because Bryce Young gets sacked for a 9-yard loss. They end up punting it away. 50-yard punt. Baltimore Ravens are slowly going downfield and are not able to do much with it. They only get a field goal, knock it down to a touchdown lead. And the Bucs punt it once again. The Baltimore Ravens could possibly tie up the game here, and they are going downfield 4th and 9, and they only go for another field goal. All the Bucs have to do is chew clock and get another first down. They get a big reception by Travis Etienne, and they get another one, an 8-yard rush by Travis Etienne. That first down might have been it. That first down might have done it for the team as they're up 20-16 to finish off the game. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are back to their winning Super Bowl ways. Whew! Finally. I mean, Bryce Young takes us to the Super Bowl. We drafted so many rookies. Half of them panned out, the other half didn't. Traded some of them for picks. You just have to do what you have to do when you're rebuilding a franchise. I could see this happening for the Bucs, that they end up panicking if their QB picks don't end up panning out. So, oh man, the QB celebration begins in Tampa, Florida, and the Buccaneers are champions once again with Bryce Young holding the trophy with Tristan Wirfs in the back. And at the end of it all, the Bucs win 20-16. Bryce Young winning Super Bowl MVP. None of our players won awards for the year, but the only award that matters is that Lombardi trophy. But if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. Let me know what teams you want me to rebuild. I'm open to any teams. This was probably one of the more difficult ones. I don't know why. The QB prospects were just not good. But once again, if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.